The clock of history doesn't just tick, it echoes with the heavy breath of men holding the world's pulse in their trembling hands. Welcome, dear friends. Step out of the bright Texas sun and into this wood-paneled sanctum where the air is thick with the scent of cold coffee and the ghosts of stale tobacco. Here, John F. Kennedy leans over a sprawling map, his midnight blue suit catching the clinical glare of humming fluorescent lights. His expression is a landscape of quiet burden, eyes searching the paper for an answer the ink cannot provide. Around him, a circle of advisors in charcoal wool and razor-thin ties stand like pillars of anxiety, their faces etched with the exhaustion of 1963. You can almost hear the rhythmic, metallic clack of the typewriter and feel the desperate weight of every decision. This is the inner circle of power before the world shatters. A moment of intense strategy before the impending chaos of Dallas rewrites history in a heartbeat. We begin here, in the heavy silence before the scream. Moving from the cool sanctuary of the cabin into the blinding Texas heat, we step onto the altar of the asphalt. When I look at this, I see Jackie as a vision in strawberry pink wool, cradling a bouquet of roses so deeply crimson they seem to pulse against her suit like a heartbeat. Her pillbox hat sits perfectly atop her dark coiffed hair, her smile radiant and full of grace. Beside her, Jack is the sun itself, his hand raised in a rhythmic wave, his bronze skin glowing, his expression one of effortless, youthful command. We are submerged in a sea of faces, men in sharp fedoras and women in floral prints, their cameras hoisted like silver icons to capture this fleeting divinity. The air is thick with the metallic tang of jet fuel and the sweet, heavy scent of those roses. The light is unforgivingly bright, carving sharp shadows into the concrete, yet the mood is electric with hope. It is a moment of shimmering, fragile peace, a high noon dream, unaware that the clock is already ticking towards silence. The air shifts, cooling as we step away from the sun-drenched pavement and into the stifling, silent shadow of the Texas School Book Depository. When I look at this, I see a tomb built of cardboard. Stacked high, the brown boxes create a labyrinth of forgotten things, smelling of old paper and dry wood. In the center of this dim attic, a man, Lee Harvey Oswald, crouching with a terrifying, singular focus. He wears a drab gray work shirt and slacks, his short hair unruffled, his face a mask of chilling composure. His fingers, steady and cold, curl around the wooden stock of a Carcano rifle, the scope a dark eye peering through the window. Outside, Dallas is a vibrant, technicolor dream. American flags snap in the breeze, and a green limousine glides through a sea of cheering crowds. But in here, the atmosphere is heavy with the weight of a horrific choice. The silence is absolute, a breathless pause before the world shatters, leaving only the ghost of a smile and a nation's lost innocence. The golden Texas sun has turned cold and clinical. The vibrant parade has splintered into a disjointed nightmare. When I look at this, I see the dark blue Lincoln Continental, a streak of heavy, polished steel, screaming away into a blur of panic. Clint Hill is a silhouette of desperation, lunging at the trunk as if he could catch a falling world. This quiet park, usually a place for Sunday strolls, has been violently transformed into a battlefield. Two women lie pressed against the emerald lawn. Their skirts, one navy, one seafoam green, are crumpled fags of surrender as they seek safety from the very air. Their bodies are rigid, faces buried in the grass. To the right, a man in a sharp suit cringes, his world tilted, while a woman in a floral dress raises her hands to a sky that has suddenly betrayed her. The atmosphere is thick with the scent of hot asphalt and the echoing crack of history breaking. In this frozen moment, the American dream didn't just end, it collapsed into the dust. The frantic rush from the plaza has slowed to a heavy, suffocating crawl within the sterile halls of Parkland Memorial Hospital. When I look at this, I see a corridor that stretches into an infinite nightmare, lit by the merciless, flickering buzz of fluorescent tubes. In the center, Jackie stands like a shattered statue. Her iconic pink wool suit, once a symbol of Camelot's radiant grace, is now a haunting, visceral map of her husband's final moments. The dark, jagged stain across her chest is a silent scream against the cold, clinical white of the walls. Beside her, men in dark suits move with a hollow, frantic desperation, their faces etched with the grim weight of a world collapsing. To the right, a nurse pauses, her eyes squeezed shut, hands pressed together in a trembling, desperate prayer. The air here is frigid, smelling of sharp antiseptic and the metallic tang of iron. It is the precise moment the American dream didn't just change, it broke, leaving only the hollow echo of leather shoes on linoleum. Inside the silver rib cage of Air Force One, the air is heavy, smelling of jet fuel and profound, sudden grief. We stand in this cramped cabin, a makeshift sanctuary where history is being rewritten in ink and tears. At the center, Lyndon Johnson's face is a mask of grim duty, his hand raised toward a ceiling that feels too low for the burden he now carries. Beside him, Jackie Kennedy stands in her strawberry pink wool suit, her eyes hollowed by a shock that words cannot reach. The officials surrounding them are ghosts in dark suits, their faces etched with the disbelief of a world shattered in a Dallas afternoon. This moment is the final exhale of an era and the first sharp breath of another. It summarizes the entire journey, from the sun-drenched tragedy of Dealey Plaza to this somber, metallic room where the weight of a nation is transferred in a whisper. Power passes in a heartbeat, but the silence of the void remains. Thank you for walking through these shadows of history with me. If this journey moved you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.